Alright, we are back with another video on the C3 79 Corvette. So last time basically I replaced all the brakes. You saw the videos, all new calipers, rotors, pads, brake lines, or pretty much every brake line except for the one that goes from the portioning valve to through the frame to the back. But pretty much everything has been replaced in the braking system, and I've been struggling with bleeding it. I've had a fitting that was leaking on me, and I fixed that, but still, like, it was soft pedal. I started thinking maybe the master cylinder was bad, but everything I was reading online is saying it has to be just air in the system. Now I have, I don't have it here to show you, but I have, actually I do, a vacuum bleeder. You can see, I know it's kind of dark. That doesn't really work well on these Corvettes. I have good success with that on other cars. Like bleeding the clutch on this car, I was able to use a vacuum bleeder. But Corvettes are a little strange. If you've ever, there's plenty of forums out there of how to bleed correctly, because these Corvettes are a little strange. Well, so I ended up buying this Motive power bleeder. I got the one, the kit with 3 different types, so basically I can use it on any GM car, any Corvette. Just kind of future-proof my tools now. But yeah, this thing worked great. It comes with chains, if you're familiar with this. Just use C-clamps. 2 6-inch C-clamps, and that's what helps to get it to seal. But yeah, so now this car has brakes finally, and before I test drive it, I want to have a working parking brake. Since I just replaced the shoes back there, like, I can lift the handle up and I can feel it's working. It's just I need to adjust it. So I was adjusting it, and the adjuster is just so rusty it just snapped off. So I have a whole new parking brake stuff. Almost everything except for the rear cables are going to be replaced. Got the light on top of the T-top. It's kind of cool thing about glass T-top. I mean, I could just take it off, but now that it's on up in the air, I don't really want to lift it or take the top off. So over here, parking brake handle. This just pops off. It's supposed to be bolted in, I'm sure, but mine's not. So that just lifted off. Here we got the cable. Mine's extra loose. I did take 4 bolts out. You'll be able to see them. But I took them out. The cable's loose because it's broke underneath, and I need to figure out how to get it out. So I'm going to go under the car, show you what broke, and then we'll start taking stuff apart to get this ready for when the new parts come. We are under the car. Here you can see this is where the equalizer is for the parking brake adjuster, and it just snapped off. There's supposed to be a little tab in there where the spring hooks up to, and it just snapped. It's so rusted and seized. And then I tried taking the nuts off to see if there was anything I could do, like maybe if they just sold the rod here, but this nut is rusted solid. I got it to move quite a bit, and then it just stopped. It's not going anymore. And then it started twisting this, and they don't even sell just this rod. Like, this is part of the cable anyway, so it didn't matter. So I'm going to be replacing this spring back here. I'll have to figure out how to get this out because it's in there pretty good. I'm going to do this equalizer, the 2 nuts with the rod attached to the cable, and I believe I'm replacing the pulley with the bushing inside as well. Or actually, I think it's called a spacer. So yeah, as we can see, I'm going to take this out. Yeah, I'm going to take this pulley out and just get it ready so I can start taking stuff out from above. Alright, got the nut removed on the other side. It was just 2 19s. Oh, there's a washer, I believe this is. Yep. I'll keep that. I'm replacing all that with new hardware, so. Alright, here we go. Old pulley, really not too bad. Alright, now I have room to pull it out and get deal with it from the top. I noticed this down here. Hopefully you can read this. I'm just trying to wonder, is this, I don't think this is an original drive shaft. I think this is like a stamp saying it was out of place. I can't imagine why they would replace the drive shaft unless they just did U-joints and then slapped a sticker on there. Driveline service in Texas. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I never saw any paperwork on that or anything. Yeah, I have no idea why you would replace a drive shaft on a stock car. I can't imagine you actually blew it up. So I'm thinking they might have just done U-joints and then slapped a sticker on there. But that's interesting. Alright, so I managed to get the cable out. What I did was I hammered out the pin that's in here. This is for the parking brake handle. Found a bolt that matches about the right size and just hammered it out. That gave me just enough room to pull it back, and then I was able to slide this retaining clip thing up and fish the line out. So I'm sure there's a better way. I'd imagine that this can come off. I didn't want to mess with that. I might have to when I put it back together. We'll see. But eventually I'll be replacing this handle since the plastic's all broke. I didn't want to fit it into the budget yet. I want to do a couple other things before I address little stuff like this. It has been quite a while. I left for Thanksgiving break. I'm back. I've been waiting on parts. Turns out what I ordered for the front half of the parking brake was back ordered. So I reached out to the company. They're sending me just the cable. Yeah, we're getting it figured out. It's just taking a while. So now that I have confirmation, all my parts are shipping out now. I'm going to get started installing this rear parking brake cable, since this is the cable that actually broke on me. Yeah, the bummer is I gotta kind of undo all that work I just did. Take the wheels off, take the rotors off, take the calipers off. Alright, well, we'll get it figured out. Alright, I have just gotten the passenger side off. As you can see, first glance, this caliper is all beat up just from me rubbing the wheel against it. If you want calipers to look painted and they're going to last, powder coat them for sure. But, you know, not really a big concern of mine. I'm more concerned with functionality rather than looks with this car. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, but you should probably just powder coat yours. Alright, so I got to get this brake caliper out. Now the problem with these aftermarket lines back here is, you can tell, they're directly in the way, so you gotta bend them and maneuver them just so you can get them out without having to take the lines off and then bleed the system again. It's possible, it's a struggle though. Alright, so this is the back side. Sorry about that flicker, it's my light. But this is the back side. That's how I managed to get it. You gotta curve the brake line to go over the hump, which I think it's supposed to do anyways. Just that's not how the brake line is set up, this aftermarket brake line. And then the front one you can get off with your wrench, so that's no problem. But yeah, got it out. It's wet inside. So I think when I was bleeding, because I tried gravity bleeding, I think it dripped inside of the drum shoes, or the parking brake drum area. The shoes don't actually look wet, so that's good. Nothing to worry about. But yeah, when it was dripping, it was definitely leaking into the rotor, which is not good. Oh well. Good thing we caught this now. So we got to pull off. There's a clip right here. You see that? And then there's another clip on the other side of that bracket down there. So I'll get to that, and it's a little bit of a fight getting it out of this one, but not too bad. Oh, and we also got to unclip it from the parking brake shoes, or the parking brake assembly over here. Alright, got the old parking brake cable out. I gotta order some of these new clips. This one was the driver's side. It's actually okay, but the passenger side was just gone, and you might as well replace it now, because if it fails and you gotta fix it, you gotta take everything apart again. So they're kind of ridiculous. They're like $4, but shipping kills. All right, so here's the broken cable. As you can see, it was starting to fray. Hopefully you can. Yeah. And this is seized on there, and these threads are just all boogered up. It's not coming off. I tried running a tap on it, and I got this side of it clean, but where it's stuck, and there's no way of getting that out. So that's why we're replacing everything. Initially we're replacing it all because the little loop here that's supposed to clip into the spring, that broke off. But yeah, now we got to replace everything, which is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the new stuff in as much as I can. And then I'm just going to put the rudder on so this anti-seize doesn't just stay out here and attract bugs or whatever. But I'll get back to you once I get more parts. Alright, we got some parts in the mail. Well, one part in the mail, but it's the part we needed. You can see this is the front half of the parking brake cable. So basically what I ordered was a kit, and they didn't have in stock, but they had just the cable, so we got just the cable. We're gonna have to end up reusing the bushing for this pulley, but that's fine. That bushing is like metal anyway, so who cares? So yeah, let's get this installed. It's been a while since I took this out, so I gotta remember how it goes back in. Alright, we have a problem. So this is the new end of the cable that goes into the parking brake. This is the old one. If I can line them up. You can see one of them is definitely longer. The new one is longer. That metal part in the end, it's longer on the new one. Now, that is a problem because, let me get my light. Right in here where this slips into, it's not big enough for the new cable, so I gotta figure out something. Okay, false alarm. I got it in. It is a tight fit. It just barely fits, but I had to actually take a screwdriver and a hammer and punch it in. But I forced it in, so now I can line it up and continue installing this. Alright, the parking brake cable clip came in. That's that new white piece. It used to be yellow. We got the parking brake cable hooked up. We can put the rotor and the caliper back on, put the wheel on. This side's done. I went under and did the rest of the parking brake cable stuff, so I'll go ahead and show you that. Alright, so under the car, up here we got the pulley. As you see, the kit that I ordered was supposed to come with a new bolt, new bushing inside. That didn't end up happening, so I'm just reusing that old stuff, but the pulley's fine. Over here we got the spring. Had to buy some nuts because the kit didn't come with that. No big deal. These are, I believe they were like 5/8 or 5/16, something like that. Whatever is the equivalent of M8 into inches. The Corvette's on the ground. It's been a while since it's been on the ground. Went around and torqued all 4 wheels just to make sure that I did, and of course I didn't, so good thing I checked. First time the door's been shut in a while. So good to know it still shuts. Alright, we're gonna start it up. I got a clear path. Let's drive this thing. So first, we're gonna break in the new brake pads, and then we need to focus on burnishing in the new drum shoes for the parking brake. So first, brake pads. Alright, let's get this started up. It's been a while, so let's see. Air cleaner on, so it seems to run better without the air cleaner on, but I want So, if you heard in that last clip, it was grinding, getting into gear, and it wouldn't get into gear. Great, just my luck. Well, I tried shifting with it on the ground, and it would not get into third gear. So that tells me these bushings for the shifter linkage, they're bad. They need to be replaced. But I fixed it up, I just kind of forced it in, and now the shifter is lined up again, and I just started up, it works. So let's do a really quick drive. It is about to rain, so gotta hurry. I somehow mixed up the on and the off button, so I was recording the parts I didn't mean to. I took this on the quickest of drives, and yeah, the brakes are working, so we're good to actually break in the brake pads, but we'll see what happens. It is pouring right now, so I had to come straight in immediately. As you see, this car is soaked. It is pouring, and my windows aren't adjusted correctly, so water is gonna get in. I had to come straight back in. I had no idea that the windshield wipers work. Still a lot of stuff to figure out. So I will be making a video tomorrow. That will be the next video you see of me actually driving this car. We found out the shifter, linkage, adjuster stuff, that all needs to be adjusted. It is worn out. That is what was causing me to sometimes not be able to get in a second gear. Sometimes it'd grind. Now, sometimes it doesn't want me to get in gear at all. So that needs to be fixed. That's on our to-do. But other than that, we need to break in the brake pads, and then we can burnish the new drum shoes for the parking brake. So we'll do that next video. I'll see you then. Thank you for watching.